Now another way to make selections, if we're working with an image like this, the first question that you're going to ask yourself is what's going to be the best tool to use. Now there are a lot of ways that you can do this in newer versions of Photoshop, this being CC 2018. And there's probably even more ways to do this than what we're going to look at today. But in all different versions of Photoshop, or at least the most recent versions of Photoshop, you have a lot of cool tools like the Quick Selection tool. But the Quick Selection tool will be a good tool to use. And this is going to be controlled through the size of your brush tip. Now we didn't talk about this particularly in class. I'll make sure that I make a note of that. But you can control the size of the brush using this right here. Or you can use your bracket keys, which we'll talk about in class. And you can click and drag on your selection. Now if I get an area that's outside of my selection and I need to add that or take that away, let me zoom in here. Then those same shortcut modifiers that we looked at in the previous video, I can hold down my Option key and I can click and drag that in to take away from my selection. Now I can use a combination of tools, still with my Quick Select, to go in and add to, hold Option, take away. But I can also use a combination of these, hold down Option, take that away from my selection, hold down Shift, add that to my selection, add this to my selection, and also add this to my selection. And those are just some quick techniques that we can go in and we can use a lot of these tools together in order to do what we really need to do, which is make a selection. And once that selection is made, we'll start to explore a little later on some non-destructive ways of making adjustments. But just to look at a destructive way real quick, image adjustment, hue saturation, we see that only the area that is selected will be the area that is adjusted. This is a local adjustment. Without this selection, this adjustment would affect everything. That would be a global adjustment. So we'll explore that a little more in class this week.